As a CrossFitter, I'd like to know, which is it? Are you a coach or are you an expert? What brings this up for me is about 2 weeks ago, Waiki Etzebeth, sorry, I'm probably butchering his last name. I apologize, Waiki. He posted this video where he and this guy, Ty Arnett, were talking about CrossFit, and they got into the challenges of being a CrossFit coach. And I have some strong feelings about that. So let me explain. So there I was in class. This was a while ago, but they'd programmed power snatches, 5x3 power snatches. And I'd done the set and I was feeling pretty good about it. And so I was cleaning off the bar, getting ready to do the Metcon. And the class's coach, she's behind me, leaning against the rig, and I'm unloading the bar, as I said. And she just casually goes, "Yeah, I wish I was strong enough to muscle snatch that much weight." And I was like, wait. I didn't say anything at the time, but I had actually been working on doing a power snatch. And, I'm unloading the bar, and we've only got a few minutes until we start the Metcon. And the coach drops on me that, no, you didn't do power snatches. Those were muscle snatches, not the same thing. Okay, great. Well, on another occasion, we're done with class. The 5 o'clock class was coming in and they were setting themselves up. And I have the habit, I always go and thank the coach at the end of class because, hey, they're working hard. They're doing the best they can. And they deserve recognition for that. So, I go up to thank her. And different coach, she goes, "Yeah, those are some good muscle snatches you did." It was the same programming, 5x3 power snatches. Class is done. And you drop the bomb on me at that point that I didn't actually do what was programmed. So this is where Waiki and Ty come in.
We're the expert. There's a reason they pay us the big bucks. It's because we've done the work. We know the shit. Just because they've read a bunch of men's health magazines or they subscribe to Huberman's podcast, they know more than us now.
So first thing, who in 2025 is still reading Men's Health? I mean, really? But, I'll concede, I'm not normal. I will read studies on PubMed. I've read Mark Ripetoe's books. I'm in the process of reading Louis Simmons's books. And Huberman, oh yeah, I'm all over Huberman's podcast. I also listen to Dr. Lane Norton, Dr. Israel, Jeff Cavalier, Jeff Niptard, Kelly Starrett. Read his books. Was it Born to Move and Supple Leopard? Dr. Peter Attia with his book Outlive. And, I've listened to him on various podcasts and his own podcast. And then also, by the way, I've got the same L1 as you do, Coach. And I'm going to do my L2 later this year. So I've done the work just like you. I'm also continuing to do the work. I'm always working on adding new capabilities. What about you? Have you heard of animal flow? How about kettlebell flow or rope flow? There's a lot of flows out there. Have you tried doing a max effort workout? And how about progressing your bar muscle up to a strict muscle up? So my point here is I don't really care if you know more than me. My question is can you coach me? Because here's the thing, I know a lot. I spend a lot of time learning things, but I also know I don't move very well and I need a coach. And I feel like I get zero feedback. So my wife says that I should speak up, and I can see that. But first, let's consider this piece from Waiki's video.
We're the expert. There's a reason they pay us the big bucks.
So the coaches are paid the big bucks, and I'm paying, so I don't have to say anything. Truth is, despite trying to do this YouTube thing, I'm actually a bit of an introvert. I do my thing, and but I'm paying you to give me the feedback. Say, hey, that was a muscle snatch, not a power snatch. Next, I don't always necessarily know that I need to speak up or say anything. Again, I thought I was doing power snatches. I was actually thinking I had done a good job. Turns out, nope, muscle snatches. And it's not just in that situation. And in a more recent example, we had a workout where we're doing a couple of rounds, 4 or 5, I think, where we were supposed to do 13 toes to bar, and there was some other movement. And I'm not very I'm not very good at anything, but I've gotten to where I can do toes to bar on the bar. If we use the Dirty South, I don't have trouble, but on the regular bar, I look like a fish being reeled into a boat. I'm just flopping around. And so there were supposed to be 13, and instead of 13, I decided I'll do 5 and I'll just finish it out with knees to chest. So we just keep the workout going, because if I try doing anyway. So I got through the entire workout, and I know the coach saw me because it was commented that, oh, okay, this is how we're going to score this. And at no point was I stopped and given any cues or any coaching of how can I connect my toes to bar together. In all of the examples I've given, I think the coaches are making what I believe is a fairly common mistake that I've seen as a consultant throughout my career, and it's that people don't ask enough questions. And I'll concede, I'm guilty of it myself. But as I explained, when I'm in the CrossFit gym, I'm paying so I don't have to ask. I'm paying for coaching. I can and do my own programming outside of the gym when I go to Normie Gym. And I'm pretty good at it, I think. But when I'm in the CrossFit gym, I've paid for coaching, and I don't think it's unreasonable to expect it to occur. So as I was reviewing the video, I noticed I left out a kind of an important piece for the coaches. When I say that, as a consultant, I noticed that my clients in the past, they always just consistently fail to ask enough questions. And in the case of the coaches, in the first example with the muscle snatches, the coach, having seen me do that, should have come over and said, hey, Jake, did you intend to do a muscle snatch? Because we're doing power snatches right now. Because potentially I might have said, yeah, I meant to do a muscle snatch. And, in that exchange, the opportunity to do some coaching would have occurred. They would have been like, okay, Jake, here's what I see you doing wrong. And we could have fixed it. In the second example with the toes to bar, yeah, it's a Metcon, but in my opinion, part of the thing that we get into with CrossFit is people are so worried about the intensity that they're not moving well. And, so they're not really making progress. Yeah, you're just grinding away, but if you're not doing real good toes to bar, I mean, you're just asking for Andrew Hiller to come around and make a video of you doing no reps. So the coach could have stopped and said, hey, Jake, you're not connecting those together. Could you try this? And it would have been awesome. And again, coaching would have occurred and I wouldn't be making this video. So, kind of what I'm describing here is what I think a lot of other CrossFitters experience and what I've called being an invisible CrossFitter. It's a situation where, beginners get a lot of attention because, well, they need it. And then you have your advanced CrossFitters who are competitive and they're doing the cool ring muscle ups and all the other stuff. And so they tend to get a lot of attention. But your intermediate people who are in the middle, they're kind of easy to overlook. And I get it. I show up early for the class. I get my stuff out. I know what the workout's going to be. I know what to do. I'm kind of on autopilot, so it's easy to ignore somebody like me. And like I said, I think that there's a lot of other CrossFitters who are in the exact same boat. So just because I know what to do doesn't mean I don't need coaching. And you don't necessarily need to know more than me to coach me. I doubt Mike Tyson's coach could stand up to him in the ring. I doubt Valentino Rossi's coach can ride a bike faster than him. And there's a lot of professional athletes. I mean, Tia Toomey's coach, do you think he can outdo her in a workout? I don't. And you have that all over the place. The job of the coach isn't necessarily to do the stuff better, it's to provide the guidance and feedback that helps the person become better. So, kind of the point I'm trying to get to is, coaching's about the communication. And as a coach, if you're having to strip weights off a bar or drag somebody off the rig, you're failing to communicate. And I'll also say, as an athlete, CrossFit or otherwise, if your coach is having to strip weights off the bar or drag you off the rig, there's failure to communicate going on. And the two of you need to go have a fit aid and figure out what's going on and get this corrected. So, not to ramble, but one of the things that I do wonder about as I've been working on this video is, the athletes have coaches. I go in and what I'm kind of asking for is coaches to actually coach. But I have to wonder, who's coaching the coaches to help them become better coaches? Because, how is that occurring? And, to bring this, to close this up, my intention here isn't to criticize. I'm trying to provide some feedback and draw attention to what I see as a pretty big gap and, something that should be addressed. I'm not sure how good of a job I've done here. I'm trying my best. Hey, I'd like your coaching. Hey, how'd I do? Anyway, if you did make it this far, like, subscribe. That'd be cool. I mean, wow, I've made it all the way to 300 subs. Woohoo. Anyway, till next time, keep the shiny side up.